Do you know how sound is produced? Through observing some day-to-day examples and doing some activities of your own, you can find out what produces sound. Let's consider the most common group of objects that produce sound. The strings of a guitar are pulled and released to produce a musical sound. Look closely at the strings of the guitar being played. Notice the string that is pulled and released. It vibrates and produces a musical sound. The strings of a guitar are pulled and released to produce a musical sound. Look closely at the strings of the guitar being played. Notice the string that is pulled and released. It vibrates and produces a musical sound. Here is another musical instrument, the drum. Does a drum also produce vibrations the way the guitar string does? No vibrations can be seen now. But what if you put some grains on the drum membrane? On hitting the drum, you saw the grains move up and down to the beat. Here's one more musical instrument. These are cymbals, which are sometimes used by musical bands. If you hit on the cymbal, you hear the sound and see the vibrations. You might have seen a bell in your school. On ringing the bell, you can hear a sound and see the vibrations of the sides of the bell. Let us take another example that you may find in your school, a gong. On hitting a gong, you can observe a long-lasting vibration and sound. Now, let's try some activities that you can do for yourself. In the first one, you need to use a pencil box. Stretch a rubber band all the way around your pencil box. Now, insert two pencils this way such that there is a gap between the pencil box and the band. Now, pull at the rubber band and hear the sound. You can also see a vibration. Easy one you can try at home to see the vibrations when an object makes a sound. First, take a vessel from your kitchen at home and knock it with a spoon. You might not see vibrations. Next, fill up the vessel with water and then knock it with a spoon. You can hear a sound and you can see ripples in the water too. Since you haven't directly touched the water, the ripples prove that the vibrating vessel produces waves in the water. In the previous activity, did you notice that the sound produced by knocking a vessel without water is different from sound produced by a vessel that has water? In the previous activity, did you notice that the sound produced by knocking a vessel without water is different from sound produced by a vessel that has water?
You can also make interesting sounds by trying this activity. Take 7 bowls of different sizes and collect water in them at different levels.
Now tap each bowl with a spoon, first in one order. then randomly. Isn't this a beautiful sound? So, do look closely at objects that make a sound and do try out activities of your own to prove that sound is produced by vibrations of a body.
There are many musical instruments in our country that are indigenous to our culture. These musical instruments are made from materials that are easily available around us, waste articles, etc. Few such indigenous African musical instruments are uhadi, nyanga panpipes, kudu horns, ramki, kalimba, ngoma drums, penny whistle. In some instruments, blowing of air creates vibrations that produce sound. Take the common whistle, for example. The penny whistle, the kudu horns, and the nyanga panpipes are examples of such musical instruments, where vibrations produced by the blowing of air creates music. The trumpet is a well-known musical instrument that is played by blowing air. Our indigenous kudu horn is very similar to the trumpet.